This is a KOCO 5 First Alert Weather Severe Weather Update.
It is currently 12:06 on this now Thursday morning. Storms continue west of I-35. Our crews are out watching it closely. As of right now, we do not have any severe thunderstorm warnings, but we do have storms that are beginning to approach an area where the instability is going to increase just enough to where these storms are likely going to strengthen. Front has just made its way through Edmond, coming in towards downtown Oklahoma City. It's going to be this blue line that you see cutting right across the metro. Behind it, we're seeing showers beginning to develop right over Oak Tree up towards Guthrie and Crescent, but it is just good old-fashioned rain and thunderstorms across Enid. Doesn't it sound nice right now? I know. You're getting the rain without any severe weather threat, and this rain's coming down quite heavily as well. Even some thunder with it. Quite a few lightning strikes from McComas up towards Kremlin. Otherwise, as we go down the road towards O'Keene, Longdale, Canton, some moderate to heavy rain continues. Weatherford, rain continues to fall just north of you, but there's more just to the south, which means that Weatherford, we're not done with the rain. You know, a lot of areas have already picked up more rainfall in the last 2 to 3 hours than they have seen in the last 125 days. That is a lot. Chris Lee right now is going to be just west of Eakley. We have Shane down by Roosevelt. There's going to be Nick Smith right now just north of Lawton. Then these storms continue deep into the big country of Texas. So looking at the big picture right now, all the rain is still west of I-35. Let's check in right now with Chris Lee. Chris, rain continues. It has been nice to see. Give us an update on what you're seeing.
Yeah, right now we're out ahead of the rain. We're in Ouachita County, to the east of Cordell, west of Eakley, as you saw. We've been in and out of these storms all evening. We've kind of been looking for hail. I know a lot of these are going up along the cold front or even behind the cold front, but I have not seen any hail with them, even in the heavier ones. But there is some very heavy rain and some lightning, although right now we don't seem to see as much lightning as we have been. It's kind of sporadic at times. So right now, as far as there was a pretty good one. Right now, we haven't seen the severe weather, and that's not a bad thing. It's really good to have some rain out here in western Oklahoma, David, because it's been extremely dry out here. And as long as we can keep the severe weather away, I think they're glad to see the rain. So that's what we're looking at right now. We're going to try to stay ahead, and as you said, in this warmer air where maybe the storms might get a little more rowdy later on.
Yeah, and that warmer air is going to be setting up just right along I-44. So, yeah, it's great to get the rain, Chris, without that severe weather threat. Some Doppler radar estimates now coming in between Eric, Sayre, and Elk City are now over 1 inch of rain. That right there is incredible. Let's check in with Shane Helton. Shane, you're down in southwestern Oklahoma. Shane, how are things down across that part of the state?
Well, Damon, I've decided to drive into the storm to see if I could find anything other than rain, and the answer is there's no hail in here. There's some good rain, though. I'm really glad to see this rain. I bet a lot of Oklahomans are really, really glad to see this rain. I'm actually between Mountain Park and Cold Springs, which is between Roosevelt and Snyder, I'm just north of Snyder. Anyways, Damon, there's still a north wind here. A few minutes ago, we were out ahead of the storms. We got out the night vision goggles and was looking at the clouds. There's lots of scary-looking clouds. There was nothing that was of any concern, with our highly trained eyes. And, we go through a lot of storm training every single year. In fact, this year I've already been through 4 storm training classes. So we have not seen anything that was any major concerns or anything like that. Just some scary-looking clouds and some rain. And, hey, if this is just going to turn into rain tonight, that's great. I know northern Oklahoma, yeah, you're still going to probably see that snow, but, man, we need the moisture. So this is a good thing right now. There's no hail in here. We're just getting that north wind with the cold front. Other than that, it's great. Damon, back to you.
I'm right there with you, Shane. Yeah, you're exactly right. It is great to see the rain coming down. Sounds nice. A nice few rumbles of thunder with this. But as of right now, where these storms have been, just not a lot of instability in place. That will change, though, as these storms move into central Oklahoma. Nick Smith is out this morning. Nick, good morning to you. How are things right now in Comanche County?
Yeah, Damon, I'm down here where I-44, you get off at Highway 49 right by Medicine Park. Man, we're down here, and what I kind of wanted to show you, Damon, in my shot, you can kind of see on the left side, you can kind of see it looks like it's rained here. It has not. That's just the ground sweating right now. There's a lot of humidity out here. My driver Daryl and I, we just were noticing it the whole way down here. We've had to hit the defroster a few times. So we are on the south side of the actual front. We're in the warm area where all the humidity, all that juice that you were talking about, that's going to kind of give these storms a chance to do something tonight. We're down in this area, so we're gonna follow this. We're gonna get some gas. We're gonna follow it on down to Lawton, and we're gonna try to stay out in front of the front itself, and just we'll let you guys know what's going on with these storms. Back to you.
Yeah, we certainly. I know that Nick, you and Daryl will certainly let us know what's going on. But the ground is sweating right now because of how warm it has been and how cold the ground temperatures are. They're not that cold, but they are cooler right now than the air temperature. So cool little science fact right there. Okay, let's head on over to the radar once again, because here are the storms. Our snow is now beginning to make its way into central parts of the Oklahoma Panhandle, and even some sleet now coming in to northwestern Oklahoma. Let's head on over to WSI. Let's walk you through the rest of the evening here and show you when these storms will move in for you, because severe thunderstorm watch remains in place from Stillwater to the metro south and down to the southwest. That goes until 5 a.m., so this watch is going to last for a while. Predictor and our timeline, here we are at about 12:30, so about 15 minutes from now, rain from Helena, Clinton, down towards Hobart and Altus. We'll see some storms continue to develop behind the front over Edmond. In the next hour or so, the risk for severe weather with those will be low. Otherwise, we'll see just a line of rain and storms coming in by 3 a.m. This is when the storms will be most intense, from OKC, Norman, down towards Lindsay, Pauls Valley, and west of Sulphur Davis. And look at all the snow that will be out across northwestern Oklahoma at that time. And there's going to be quite a bit of it. It will pile up. Rain continues to move to the east. On the backside of the system, we'll see some sleet come as far south as Oklahoma City, although ground temperatures right now are still pretty warm with the warmth that we've had over the last couple of days. Otherwise, northern and northwestern Oklahoma, you can see right there, the snow is going to continue to fall for Ponca City, Helena, Alva, up towards Buffalo and Woodward. And while we will see a few snow showers early tomorrow morning continue to make their way across central Oklahoma, they're not going to be all that heavy. I expect that any snow accumulations out of these will be quite light across the metro. We're talking about 1 inch or less. So the winter storm warning remains in place for northern Oklahoma. Winter weather advisory for all of us in purple. We're still looking at 3 to 6 inches of snow out across the north. There'll be some places right along the border that will likely be very close to the 6-inch mark, if not maybe even a few tenths above it. But the gradient between where we see 6 inches and 1 inch is going to be very tight. And so the cutoff line with the snow and the heaviest is certainly going to be making its way right across Kingfisher, just southern parts of Garfield County, Noble County, and Payne County. And then again, a trace about 1 inch of snow from Oklahoma City out to the west. We're going to continue to watch these storms all throughout the evening. Keep it with KOCO 5 News. We'll bring you the first alert.